It happened in the winter of 1996. I was living in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio. My neighbor, Mr. Miller, was a friendly old man who lived alone. We used to wave at each other every morning, but one Monday, everything was changed. I saw him standing in his garden at 3 a.m., just starting at my bedroom window. He did not move, he did not blink. He just stood there in the freezing cold, wearing a thin shirt, watching me. The next morning, I saw Mr. Miller again. He waved at me, but his arm moved in a strange, jerky way, like a broken toy. His smile was too wide, and his eyes looked empty like glass marbles. I felt a cold chill run down my spine. Something was wrong. This wasn't the Mr. Miller I knew. It looked like him, but the energy was different. It felt like something was wearing his skin as a costume, trying to act human but failing. I decided to check my home security cameras that night. The footage was grainy and black and white. At midnight, the camera caught Mr. Miller walking toward my front door, but he wasn't walking normally. He was crawling on all fours, his limbs bending in direction that would break human bones. He stopped at my porch and looked directly into the camera lens. He stayed there for an hour, just breathing heavily, waiting for me to open the door. I was terrified. I called the police to report a prowler. When they arrived and knocked on Mr. Miller's door, the thing answered. The police told me everything was fine. They said Mr. Miller was just confused. But through my window, I saw the police officer's face turn pale as he talked to him. The officer left quickly without saying another word to me. I realized then that whatever was in that house, it wasn't just a man, it was something dangerous. Later that night, the power went out. My house became a tomb of shadows. I grabbed my flashlight and sat in the kitchen listening. Then I heard a voice outside the back door. It was my own voice. "Help me! I locked out. Please open the door," it screamed. It sounded exactly like me, including my accent and my tone. My blood turned to ice. I was inside the house, so who or what was standing outside using my voice? I looked through the kitchen curtain. It was Mr. Miller, but his face was changing. His jaw was stretching longer and longer, and his skin was turning a pale, sickly gray. He was leaning against the glass, mimicking my exact posture. He started tapping on the window, followed the beat of my heart. Tap, tap, tap. He knew I was alone. He knew I was scared. The doppelganger was waiting for me to lose my mind. I ran to the living room and hid behind the sofa. The tapping stopped suddenly. My home phone rang. I did not want to answer it, but I did. There was only static at first. Then a distorted voice whispered, "I can see your heartbeat through the walls." I looked at the wall shared with Mr. Miller's house. I heard a scratching sound coming from inside the bricks, like long fingernails digging through the mortar, trying to get to me. I realized the doppelganger did not want to just kill me, it wanted to replace me. It was watching my movements, learning my habits and stealing my voice. If it got inside, no one would ever know I was gone. The Mr. Miller thing would just become me. I looked at the mirror in the hallway, and for the second, my own reflection did not move when I did. My reflection just smiled, a wide, jagged smile that reached its ears. I heard the sound of glass breaking in the basement. It was inside. I grabbed a heavy metal flashlight and ran to the attic stairs. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely climb. I locked the attic door and pushed a heavy trunk against it. I could hear it coming up the stairs. It wasn't using feet anymore. It sounded like a giant insect scurrying up the wood. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It reached the door and stopped. "Open the door, friend," the thing said. This time it used Mr. Miller's voice, then my voice, then a voice I did not recognize, a deep demonic growl. The door started to shake as the creature slammed its body against it. I pushed my back against the trunk, crying silently. I knew that if that door opened, my life was over. The neighborhood was silent. No one was coming to help me. I was alone with the monster. The scratching stopped. Everything went silent for what felt like hours. I thought maybe it had left. I slowly looked through the keyhole of the attic door. All I saw was a giant, unblinking eyes looking back at me. It was bloodshot and wet. Then the thing whispered through the keyhole, "I'm already in your head." I felt a sharp pain in my brain, and for a moment I forgot my own name. It was still in my memories. I found an old analog radio in the attic and turned it on, hoping the noise would. I found an old analog radio in the attic and turned it on, hoping the noise would distract it. The radio played nothing but high-pitched screams and distorted whistles, but then a voice came through the static. It was a police dispatch from 1970, reporting the disappearance of the real Mr. Miller. I realized the thing next door had been living there for 26 years, pretending to be a human. I was just its next target in the long line of victims. The sun began to rise. The light started to peek through the small attic window. As soon as the first ray of light hit the door, I heard the loud, agonizing shriek from the other side. I heard the creature falling down the stairs, its heavy body hitting every step. I waited another hour before I dared to open the door. The hallway was empty, but there was a trail of thick black slime leading from my attic all the way to basement. I did not wait. I ran out of the house, got into my car, and drove until I reached the next town. I called the police again, but when they checked the house, it was completely empty. No furniture, no Mr. Miller, and no slime. It was like a house had been abandoned for years. My own house was also empty. My clothes, my photos, my life, everything was gone. The doppelganger had taken everything I owned in just one night. Today, I live in different state, but I never look in the mirrors. Something I see the man in the yellow raincoat, or an old suit standing across the street just watching me. He has my face, my walk, and my smile. He's waiting for me to be alone again. To the people in the United States who are watching this, look at your neighbor tonight. Are you sure it's really them? Or are they just waiting for you to turn off the lights?